queer disabled superheroes in college, a sharp look at the way society categorizes some disabled and queer people as acceptable and palatable and others as villains and outcasts. Bring it on, am I right? This is warm-blooded and I absolutely devoured this. We're following Kirin, who gave up his name and past life to become a government-approved hero. Even though lots of people are born with powers, you have to be licensed to be allowed to use them. Otherwise, you're just a villain. Anyway, millions have applied for one of the handful of coveted spots at this institution, and Kirin made it. He does his best to focus on his training and make new friends in his slightly unusual cohort, including his new prickly black cat buddy Ifrit. But when a new entity emerges and starts making threats, they all end up in the middle of the action. He has to figure out who the monsters really are and what's worth fighting for. There's lots of queer and disabled representation that's just casually and warmly part of the story. The main character is trans and somewhere on the asexual spectrum, and there are gender fluid and non-binary and other queer supporting characters. Kirin is also dyslexic, and other characters have disabilities across the spectrum, from physical disabilities to learning disabilities to mental health. Warm-Blooded also explores privilege and oppression and a society that loves you until you become a sacrifice. People with powers are seen as monsters, except for a small handful that become venerated heroes. But even those heroes are still treated like objects while they serve the community. And the heroes in Kirin's squad have visible differences, and that's when the outside world gets nasty. They're not the type of powered people that are seen as palatable by the masses, and a lot of them are working on healing their childhood trauma surrounding that. Most of them saw this training as a form of freedom, a way to escape their past lives and start over. Obviously, a lot of these themes are heavy, but this is a fun book. I loved the character work and the slowly emerging relationships. There is a large ensemble cast, which does get confusing at times, but their dynamics were thoughtful, and I loved that we got glimpses of them operating and forming their own relationships in the background of our focus as readers. There's lots of banter, there's lots of excitement, and the superhero powers were all very unique. So if you love superhero sagas, if you want an inclusive, action-packed, friendship-filled story, and if you want to chew on the question, who are acceptable heroes and who are we more comfortable villainizing, then you should definitely pick this up. Also, shout out to the author because they're a fellow bunny parent. Persephone says hi to Chomp. You can get a copy of Warm-Blooded at bookshop.org to support indie authors and me.